There's something sacred about the things we keep of the dead. A photograph, a letter, a lock of hair. They anchor memory, hold love in place. When the soul has already moved on, but sometimes, what clings to an object isn't memory at all. For some, love becomes a tether. For others, a curse. Across time, these relics have passed through countless hands, each leaving an imprint, a trace, a whisper, and within their stillness, something stirs. This is where the veil thins, where devotion turns to haunting. I am four winds, and these are the possessed objects of the dead. Tonight's possession story takes place in Buxton, Maine. In 1893, the body of Margaret Vale, a young undertaker's wife from Buxton, Maine, was found lifeless in her parlor chair. Her hair brushed smooth, her hands folded neatly over her lap. On the vanity beside her lay a silver comb, ornate and tarnished, its teeth stained dark. Neighbors said Margaret had taken to brushing her hair late into the night after her husband's death, sometimes until dawn. They'd pass her window and see the glow of a single candle flickering through lace curtains, the rhythmic sound of brushing carrying into the quiet street. Some swore they heard her whispering softly, as though someone were whispering back. When the coroner examined her, they found strands of another woman's hair tangled deep in the comb, long, black, and far too fresh. But there were no other women in the house. The comb, they learned, had once belonged to her husband's first wife, Eliza Vale, buried 2 years earlier. She passed away from consumption, now known as tuberculosis. Eliza's grave had been disturbed. Her coffin cracked open. Inside, her hair was gone. The undertaker's apprentice confessed years later that Margaret had begged him to retrieve the comb from Eliza's coffin. She wanted a keepsake, she said, something to feel closer to her. From that night on, Margaret's health began to fade. Her once pale complexion took on a grayish hue. Visitors said her hair grew longer, impossibly long, shimmering with a strange luster that caught even candlelight, and when she brushed it, the air would chill. Her reflection, they said, began to move seconds after she did. Sometimes it smiled when she didn't. Sometimes it blinked when she stood perfectly still. Each morning, no matter where she hid the comb, in drawers, under floorboards, even locked in the cellar, it would always reappear on her pillow. Resting neatly beside a single black hair, not her own. When Margaret died, the comb was sealed away in her casket, wrapped in her hair and bound with rosary beads. But like all cursed things, it did not stay buried. "60 years later, in 1954, a young collector named Dorothy Griggs purchased it from an estate sale. She displayed it proudly on her vanity, unaware of its history. Within weeks, her husband complained of sleepless nights, whispers drifting from their bedroom. Long after Dorothy had gone quiet, sometimes, he said, the whispers came from the mirror. Dorothy grew pale and distant. She began calling the comb Eliza. When asked why, she said,
"She told me her name."
Three nights later, the mirror above their bed shattered. Neighbors heard screaming. And then silence. Dorothy was found sitting upright, eyes wide open. Her hair turned completely white. The comb lay in her lap, glinting faintly in the dark. They say if you listen closely, you can still hear it. The sound of the comb moving through hair long since rotted away. A rhythm that doesn't stop, even when the world goes still. And if you ever find a silver comb where it doesn't belong, don't touch it. For the dead might still be waiting to finish what they began. In silver teeth the whispers hide of widow's tears and groom who died. Through tangled roots of graveyard loam, she calls her name through the corpse comb. Each tooth remembers what it's found, a strand of life, the burial ground. It hums at night, a brittle tune of love decayed beneath the moon. Its shine once soft, now black as grief. It parts the veil, each strand, belief. And those who brush where Eliza moaned find ghosts that cling to hair and bone. For in its sheen a face may show, eyes of one you used to know. And when it hums, don't raise your head. She's combing too, the long-haired dead. Thank you for walking with me through the silence between graves. Some objects hold memory. Some hold something far older. If you ever hear the faint sound of brushing in the dark, don't look for it, because some things don't want to be found. This is Four Winds, and this was the corpse comb.